Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today is just a quick little video on my thoughts and opinions surrounding Tesla opening up the Supercharger network. Let's get into it. So as you may have heard, the Supercharger network is opening up. Some people are excited, some people are frustrated, and me, I kind of just don't really care. It's not gonna affect me that much. When I travel across the country, I'm still most likely gonna use Electrify America, even if I didn't have 30 minutes of free charging sessions. So let's kind of dig into some of the specifics for me. So let's do the positives with the Supercharger network opening. So it's going to open up travel corridors for CCS drivers that may not have been available otherwise. Obviously, Electrify America and EVgo are working at building their network out, but Tesla already has the network built. You can pretty much go wherever you want in a Tesla and you don't have to think about it. And so opening up the network is gonna help out. Now, only in the numbers I saw were about like 12%-ish of the chargers are gonna be opened. I assume they're gonna be the chargers that allow for travel that wasn't previously available, or those charging stations are gonna be the charging stations that are not as utilized. Obviously, Tesla wants to make money at the end of the day, and so they're going to open up any stations that might help increase their revenue. I don't think they're going to open up busy Supercharger locations, because obviously that's going to frustrate Tesla owners who did pay a premium to have access to the Supercharger network. Another positive about the Supercharger network opening is that it will kind of help EV adoption a little bit. Obviously, people have been hearing a lot of scary and true things about the charging networks, and knowing that there is a Supercharger network that is going to become, at least at a limited basis, available, will make it a little bit more enticing for people to want to buy an EV, since they know hopefully they'll be able to find somewhere to successfully charge their vehicle. So really, for me, those are the only positives I can really think of. There are some negatives that are potentially going to arise from this. So first thing is first, superchargers cost more than the traditional CCS charging options. So honestly, like for me, I'm not going to use superchargers unless I have to. So if I go to a CCS station and chargers are down and they're not working, or there's a queue, I'll probably go check out a supercharger and see if I would be able to charge immediately upon arrival. But like I said, because of the cost, why would I'm not incentivized to want to go to a supercharger and pay more. Obviously, I'm okay with paying more to have a station that works, but if I can pay less at Electrify America or EVgo, I'm gonna choose that over top of a supercharger for sure. Another negative that's gonna arise is I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of like this culture war, or whatever you wanna call it, of the Tesla versus the CCS. And honestly, I just don't think there's a lot of standing for Tesla owners to be angry at CCS, or vice versa, if the Supercharger network opens, but that's just my opinion. So when the Tesla Supercharger network opens, obviously CCS drivers are going to be using the Tesla chargers. And from what I've heard in Europe and stuff like that, there was a little bit of tension. I feel like it's kind of blown over a little bit now, but Tesla owners are gonna get upset. But at the end of the day, Tesla is a company and they want to make money. And with a free market, this is what a free market is all about. They're opening it up, they wanna make money, they wanna make these chargers available to everyone. And that's just, it is what it is. And it's the same thing because I see Tesla owners charging on CCS networks. And so like, I really don't see how anyone could get upset with the network being opened and people being allowed to charge on the Tesla network and vice versa. But people are gonna be upset. There's gonna be a little bit of tension, and I think everybody needs to take a deep breath and remember, if you are for a free market economy, you need to be okay with things like this occurring. And like I said, I don't think it's gonna be that big an issue, but it is what it is. Another thing, and I've tried to think this through. How, if I had to go to a supercharger, how would I handle it? Because I have an ID4 and I have a Kona, but the Kona actually would be okay. But the ID4, the charge port is on the rear passenger side, which is really a non-ideal location for the charge port to be when you go to a Tesla supercharger, because the Tesla supercharger is designed for either the driver's side rear or the passenger side front, with you know, some EV models that might have it there. So that's going to be an issue, because if I had to park there, I need to try and get an end spot and actually park on the outside of whatever the drawn lines are, so I don't take up another spot for a Tesla or other EV owner that might want to get a charge. I definitely think that's going to be a little bit of an issue, but hopefully Tesla has some plans as they build new locations and retrofit old locations to kind of deal with that potential issue. So again, those are just kind of my quick thoughts about Tesla opening up the Supercharger network. Since they're opening up just a limited number, it's going to help a little bit, but I don't think it is as big a deal as people are making it. Now maybe Tesla will be able to kind of observe charging use and maybe open up more of the network over time, but as of right now, I don't see it as being a huge deal. I see it being more of a political move for Tesla, obviously, so they can have access to funds to install more chargers. But that's kind of it. Those are my thoughts. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to charge on the Supercharger network unless I have to, because I don't want to pay the Tesla premium if I don't have to. But obviously, it's a great charging network. Tesla, they're everywhere. They did a really great job developing it. I'm not going to argue with that. Tesla's done a really great job, especially kind of making EVs more mainstream. Everybody wants a Tesla, and they did a great job with that. But opening up the network, if you are a CCS driver, I wouldn't get too excited. I wouldn't go and charge there just because you want to. It's because it's going to cost you more at the end of the day and whatnot. So those are just my quick thoughts. I'm sure I could go deeper into it. Maybe I will once the actual Supercharger network opens up, and maybe I'll go test out a supercharger with the ID4 and see, you know, how the ID4 charges on it. But for now, that's all I have. Thanks again for watching. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you all think about the Supercharger network opening up. Are you going to use it? Or do you think it's worth paying the Tesla premium to go use the Supercharger network? Or are you just going to stick to CCS networks when available, which, you know, obviously is a whole nother issue in and of itself. So thanks again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please tell anyone you know about the channel so we can help grow it. And I will catch you all next time.